ESPN's College Pickem for Week 6. We got 10 games to discuss. Let's get to it. All right, as usual, let me go ahead and get this stuff out of the way first. First, like the video. We would certainly thank you for that. Second, subscribe to the channel. Third, go check out the BetUS College Football Show every Tuesday and Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, now we've got some additional hosts that are going to be doing a Saturday morning show, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, the closing line show on the BetUS College Football channel. So go ahead and check that out. Become a member at bettingcfb.com. $5 a month, $50 for the year. I have fun over there. It's just extra content. I give you my plays first right there. I give you additional statistical projections and whatnot over there. So I would certainly appreciate you supporting. All right, now let's get into it, shall we? We're less than a minute in. First game on the board, Southern Methodist University at Louisville. Louisville, a 7.5-point favorite. So let's look at what the stat says. Stat model has Louisville by 5.56. Power rating plus stats up at the top has Louisville by 7.5 there. You start scrolling through, you're looking for mismatches. Here's the deal. SMU's offense, kind of pedestrian. It looks a little bit better with Kevin Jennings back there. The other part of this is turnover margin, right? SMU, number 74 in giveaways per game, but they are number 3 in takeaways per game. They are +7 in the last 2 weeks. Games at home against TCU and Florida State. I think on the road it's going to be a little bit different because Louisville, number 21 in giveaways per game. You start diving into what SMU is good at on offense. They're not great passing the ball. They are pretty good running the ball. But Louisville's defense, number 7 in PPA allowed per rush, number 6 in rushing success rate allowed. This thing is 7.5. Yeah, I'll take Louisville here. I think that's the direction that we're going. All right, so Louisville there. Let's keep it rolling. Indiana headed to Northwestern. Indiana a 13.5-point favorite. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm going to take Indiana here. And let's click over to the stats so that you can see what we're looking at. Stats model has Indiana by 32.5. I don't think that the books have fully caught on to exactly how good Indiana is. Now, at the same time, Indiana's current strength of schedule, you can see on here, is number 108. I mean, obviously not great. They haven't played great competition, but they are steamrolling everybody. Stats plus power rating has got Indiana by 19.68. It's almost 20 points. And we're under 2 touchdowns here. I mean, this thing is... I understand that it's on... It's in Northwestern Stadium, and I get it. But, I mean, you come down here and look. Northwestern is 1-3 against the spread right now. They're coming off a bye week. I get that. But, this is a massive difference here. Northwestern number 92 in 5 factors plus talent rank. Indiana's number 9. This Indiana team is insanely efficient. They're good at everything. Northwestern is not. So this is easy. So we will carry on and we will move back over, and we're taking Indiana minus 13.5. Okay. Ole Miss heads to South Carolina, and it's Cocktober. Okay, Ole Miss favored by 9.5. Okay, let me go on and warn you. My numbers are still in love with Ole Miss. Stats model has Ole Miss favored by 25.5. It's got a total of 67.9 on this game. Ole Miss winning 46 to 21.18. Now, that's just the stats model, okay? So you look up here at the power rating plus stats, and it's got Ole Miss by 16.3. If you're just looking at the power rating, right? So I've got Ole Miss number 5 in the power rating, even after the loss to Kentucky. I know. Sometimes the numbers look different, right? And truth be told, had Kentucky not completed a 4th and 7 from their own 19 with 2 minutes left in the game, this probably makes more sense, right? Oh, they got, if Ole Miss even misses or hits the field goal at the end of the game, this starts to make a little more sense. But right now, it's kind of rough. This South Carolina defense is what I want to focus on. Ole Miss against this schedule. Now, first off, they have played the number 107 current strength of schedule. South Carolina's played the number 64. Now, South Carolina's defensive line looks really good. Like, really good. They are number 18 in havoc rate allowed, or havoc rate created. Ole Miss's offensive line is number 19 in that spot. But Ole Miss's offensive line looked dreadful against Kentucky's defensive line. You come over here and start looking at the defense for offensive line yards, stuff rate, etc. Ole Miss now has a running back out, etc. Factor in the fact that I don't think South Carolina is too worried about going to Alabama next week. I don't think that that's one that they feel like they have to get. I think the pressure is very much on Ole Miss here, and they play LSU next week. Schedule spot, South Carolina coming off of a bye, Ole Miss coming off of a loss, a shocking loss at that. Yeah, 9.5. Give me South Carolina. Give me Kakalaka. There you go. All right. Auburn and Georgia. Auburn, a 24.5-point dog in Athens. And Georgia coming off of a loss. They looked better in the second half, etc. But look, we got to figure out what turnovers are, right? I've said this on the show many times. Kenny White has stated it I don't even know how many times. Turnover to a gambler is worth like 4 points. So if Auburn just continues to turn the ball over, they're giving away 4 points every time they give somebody else the ball. In some cases, it's more, like the pick six that wrapped it up for Oklahoma. Let's look at the numbers. Auburn's stats are pretty good, turnovers aside. You look at this PPA margin, that's predicted points added margin, they're number 28 in the country. Offensive success rate, they're number 25. Again, get rid of the turnovers, and you're fine. Number 35 in defensive success rate. They don't run a lot of plays. Net points per drive, they're pretty good. The defense isn't great, but still. Points per play margin, they're number 25 on offense, number 32 on defense. But here's the kicker. They are minus 2.2 turnovers on average per game. They're number 132 out of 134 in turnover margin. It's terrible. Georgia does not turn the ball over very much, but they're only number 90 in takeaways per game. They're only averaging taking the ball away once a game. I mean, this is just too many points. I understand that, like, Georgia might want to get right, but, like, this is a lot of points for an Auburn team that's really not that bad if we think that Auburn's not going to quit. And I know that's a very strong word for a lot of people, but I don't think Auburn is just going to stop playing. Like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Hugh Freeze, I think, can still coach. I think. So, yeah, let's make this easy. Auburn plus 24.5, and only 29% of people have actually picked Auburn. I found that surprising. This one, Iowa plus 20.5 at Ohio State. Let's pull up the numbers, because this one I feel pretty good on. I love Ohio State here. I know they've got Oregon next week. Ohio State matches up insanely well with Iowa. They always have. They still do right here. This Iowa offense is not going to be able to do anything. They have to be able to run the ball. But good luck against that defensive line. I mean, this thing is serious. PPA per rush, Ohio State is number 1 in the country. PPA allowed per rush. Iowa is number 74. Iowa number 42 in rushing success rate. And then right here, you've got Ohio State number 30. Ohio State number 5 at preventing rushing explosives. Like, this is a nightmare matchup for Iowa. I don't think their offense is going to be able to do very much at all. I think that Ohio State really is going to be able to do whatever they want to here. Now, I don't think that they're going to just pour it on. I don't think you're going to see a lot of the playbook. I don't think you're going to have to. I mean, as far as team talent, Iowa is number 39. Ohio State is number 3 at 247. This is a loaded roster. Absolutely loaded. And here's the crazy thing. Like, Iowa defense that's supposed to be, best in the world and it's the oldest defense and da-da-da-da, they're only number 17 in defensive PPA allowed per drive. Ohio State is number 4 in that spot. Ohio State number 2 in defensive predicted points added per play. Iowa's defense number 18. Ohio State they do what Iowa does, only way better. And that's surprising. So I know that they've got Oregon next week. I think anything under 3 touchdowns, and I still feel pretty good about it. So let's flip it over, and we will take Ohio State on that one. All right, let me go ahead and tell you right quick. TicketSmarter. You want to buy tickets to games. I know it. You also want to buy tickets to concerts. You might want to take your wife to a show or whatever it might be. You can save money on it by going to TicketSmarter.com. Incredible third-party ticketing service. I trust them. You should trust them. Use the promo codes WCE10. That's WCE10. It's going to get you $10 off an order of $100 or more. Or use WCE20. That'll get you $20 off an order of $300 or more. And some of these games get super expensive, right? You got Red River coming up. I mean, the Alabama-Georgia game was bananas to be able to get even a halfway decent seat in that thing. Just the get-in price was like $250. So you buy 2 tickets because you're not going to go to these things by yourself, most likely. You're looking at $500 before any kind of fees, before whatever. Why not save some money? WCE10 or WCE20. That's going to save you some money, and it's every single time that you buy tickets. Every single time. So make sure that you do that. Take care of yourself. Save some money. Think smarter. TicketSmarter. Don't forget bettingcfb.com. Sign up over there. $5 a month, $50 for the year. If you want my early plays, some stat projections early, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. We've got a really cool community over there, and I've been amazed at the support. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Now, carrying on. Let's get back to the Pickem. Alabama at Vanderbilt. Alabama a 24.5 point favorite. Now remember, these ESPN lines do not move. Alabama currently is now a 23 point favorite because a lot of people think that you need to bet against Alabama the week after a big win like that. But the talent difference here is massive, right? Alabama's got South Carolina next week at home. They're playing this game in Nashville. There's not exactly a home field advantage for Vanderbilt. I think that the talent plays out here. Let's look at what the numbers say on this. Stats model has Alabama by 28.85. Power rating plus stats, I've got Bama by 23.1. But you start diving into some of these numbers, and Bama obviously playing Georgia and Wisconsin on the road. Number 26 current strength of schedule. They're number 1 in ESPN strength of record. That's a pretty big deal. Vandy, number 82. This is a Vanderbilt team that lost outright to Georgia State. Okay, and I know that they played. Missouri pretty tough, but I think that Missouri was keeping a lot of stuff in the bag. I'm not telling you not to bet on Vandy. What I'm saying is, Vandy runs the ball like 60% of the time. Maybe they'll be able to run on Alabama. Maybe, but are they going to be able to attack Alabama's biggest weakness, which is their secondary? And the numbers may not exactly show it. You certainly saw that Carson Beck and company were picking on the Bama secondary in that second half. I think they come out, look a little bit better. I mean, that was a coach's dream, right? You get up, big lead, and then you play like crap in the second half, and then you still find a way to win the game at the end. I think that Bama finds a way to cover this number. I think they probably win by 4 touchdowns. They always seem to cover when they go to Nashville. So, yeah, give me Bama here. I know it's a big number. I know that the betting markets have moved against it. I'm good with that. Okay, Clemson and Florida State. Clemson a 15.5 point favorite on the road. Florida State moving to Brock Glenn. I don't think it's going to matter. Let's pull up the numbers. Stats model has Clemson by 30.25. Power rating plus stats has Clemson by 16.1. I think Clemson wants to wipe the floor with Florida State. Now, if they can find a way to pass the ball, that happens to be Clemson's weakness. They are number 71 in PPA allowed per pass. They're number 98 in passing success rate allowed. The issue is that Florida State, to this point, has had absolutely zero passing game. None whatsoever. Now, DJ, he is out for this game. It's going to be Brock Glenn. Can Brock Glenn throw the football? That's the question. We haven't seen it yet. I'm going to wager no, and I'm going to bet that Clemson brings the house on an inexperienced player. I will say that. So I think Clemson wants to make a statement here. I will trust the Tigers. Give me Clemson to cover 15.5. Tennessee on the road at Arkansas. Tennessee a 14.5-point favorite in this one, and this one gets a little tricky as well. Let's pull up the numbers. And Stats Model has Tennessee by 28.73. Now, Arkansas has played a significantly stronger strength of schedule, number 38 for their current strength of schedule. Tennessee's is number 72. Tennessee coming off of a bye this week. Arkansas coming off of a loss to Texas A&M, which they have done every year for what seems like forever. They lose every time out to A&M, and it's always close. Always emotional spot. Not great. Power Rating Plus Stats has got Arkansas as a 17.5-point dog. The Stats Model has Arkansas as a 28.73-point dog, and yet the line at ESPN right now is 14.5. I'm going to trust the number here because I don't think that if you look at these defensive numbers, which Tennessee's defense is legit, they are number 1 in predicted points added allowed per play. Number 1. When you look at their rushing, they are number 16 in PPA allowed per rush. They're number 1 in rushing success rate allowed. Arkansas has to be able to run the ball to be able to have any kind of success passing, and even then they don't have a whole lot of success passing. So I feel like Tennessee, coming out of a bye, they're going to feel pretty good. I trust them here a lot more than I trust Arkansas. And if you're Arkansas, you've lost a couple of close games that you probably should have won in Texas A&M and Oklahoma State. At what point do the wheels fall off? That's the question. So right now, let's make it easy. Good gracious, I don't know what that was. Let's make it easy. I will take Tennessee to cover the 14.5 Saturday night in Fayetteville. 2 more games. Baylor, a 13.5-point dog at Iowa State. That number seems insane, doesn't it? Iowa State as a 2-touchdown favorite over Baylor. And yet, when you look at the numbers, Stats Model has Iowa State by 16. The Power Rating Plus Stats has got Iowa State by 12.5. I mean, this thing's under 2 touchdowns. I feel like Baylor is better than that, but this offense has not been good, right? Just looking at the numbers, they were number 105 in offensive PPA per drive, number 101 in PPA per play. There's a whole lot of red here. I mean, it's not good. And Iowa State's defense is absolutely legit. Number 2 in PPA allowed per pass, number 49 PPA allowed per rush. Baylor doesn't do anything well. And all of these stats exclude garbage time, right? Except for the, plays per game, stuff like that. You get the point. But this, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense here. Iowa State's offense they're number 56. I mean, if anything, I would tell somebody to take an under on this 45.5. Stats Model has it 43.79. I think it's probably going to go lower than that. When you got a low total, double-digit spread, we'll do it again. Let's go with Iowa State. We're going to try a lot of chalk this week. These are landmines, right? I mean, this is just somebody somewhere is going to get got, and I don't know who it is. All right, last one on the board. Miami at Cal. Cal at home. Like Miami coming off of just a ridiculous game last week. I don't even know how to explain it against Virginia Tech. They did not look anything like themselves. Justin Wilcox as a double-digit dog is, lights out. always covers. And now you got a night game in Berkeley. You got College Game Day that's going to be there. My stats model has Miami minus 32, even after that showing last week. And the Power Rating Plus stats has got Miami minus 20. I don't trust it. You telling me Cam Ward is going to go back out west and actually look like the Heisman candidate that we thought he was? I don't feel great about that. The Miami defense certainly looks legit. But the Miami offense last week, I mean, they were able to come back and win that game, but Virginia Tech is not a very good football team. I mean, this one's rough. I mean, College Game Day is going to be there. It's late night. There's not a stat that I can give you that would point to Cal, and yet here's the one where I'm going to take the Cal Golden Bears. That's a plus 12.5. I'll take the dog in this instance, even though my numbers go way against it. All right. That is going to wrap things up for the ESPN College Pickem for this week. Don't forget, of course, we will have plenty of videos coming up later on in the week. But the BetUS College Football Show, there's a link in the description. Click the link on that. BettingCFB.com, winningcureseverything.com. Like, subscribe. You guys know what's up. And we got stuff that's going to be going on with Go Sleeves as well. Looking at a couple of other partnerships that we're working on. We'll see what happens. But you guys are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I appreciate you all. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. God bless college football. And hopefully your tickets cash this week. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter @GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.